Hello and welcome to today's historic best of 3 deck tech and gameplay video on Abzan tokens. Abzan tokens is, as the name would imply, a deck where you just want to make a really wide board of little small tokeny men and women and what have you, and you want to try and overrun your opponent and just kill him real dead. The build-around card that inspired the deck was Dramatic Finale. Dramatic Finale gives our creature tokens +1/+1, so we clearly want to make creature tokens, and whenever one or more of our legit creatures die, we make a 2/1 flying token, though it can only trigger once a turn. This card gave us a token lord and a way to generate tokens, so I figured we'd just try and match those same things. As far as token generation, we have some Emmaras, we have a Rhys, couple Legion's Landing, and it has some Marshal. We also have some Afterlife creatures, which are okay creatures on their own, but also generate a creature token when they die. Also run a Hero of Precinct One, since we do happen to have a good amount of multicolored spells, so it will also generate additional tokens, which is again what our deck wants to do. On the top end, I have one Maja, Bretagard Protector, and one Tristani, both of whom make creatures, or make tokens more specifically. Also, they are lords in their own right, so they are much like Dramatic Finale. They are token generators and sort of token, or lords in a bigger sense. I have one of each so that you at home can realize if you say don't have the mythics to splurge for Tristani, you can always run Maja and you'll be just fine, and you can even make an argument to running both like I do, since they both do different things. We also are making use of the wide boards we can oftentimes generate with convoke creatures, like a Venerated Loxodon, not only just to, summon a big 4/4 elephant boy, but also to grow our board. Also run a Conclave Tribunal as a sort of catch-all removal that we can make cheaper with our pre-existing board. Should we not have an offensive use for our board, we can always say convoke out a spell or something. Hello, sweet baby cat. Also running 4 Assassin's Trophy as an actual catch-all removal, and a couple Baleful Masteries as some good exile removal for creatures and walkers, since Historic has a lot of graveyard hate, and for good reason. That is the basics of the deck. The lands, nothing too terribly different, are too terribly special. Bunch of shock lands, some Fabled Passage and Triomes for color fixing, black castle for draw, white castle for additional token generation. We also have a Legion's Landing as another land, basically, that can turn into creatures. And for sideboard, Thought Seizes against your really control matchups where you need some information. Have some Teferi's Protections as a sort of, not only as a sweeper for your board, but really it's for your Mizzix Mastery, Sultai Ultimatum decks that are looking to pop off in a turn and never give you another turn, or even I guess your sort of turns deck. A Teferi's Protection does give you the ability to sort of dip out so you don't immediately die. Hi, Carmel. Hi, baby girl. I need you to move. You're in front of... There you go. Go, baby. I'll pet you later. But yeah, that's what we run Teferi's Protection. Again, it's just a nice peace-out card for you and your board. Few Night of Autumns. Nice modal card. It's usually brought in as a form of artifact or enchantment hate, but it can be life gain if you need it to, or just a good creature on curve if you happen to be far ahead. A few Rest in Peace, because again, the graveyard hate is a useful thing to have in Historic, be it your particularly sweaty Arcanist decks, or your even your Mizzix Masteries deck, whatever, any sort of deck that cares about the graveyard. Also, like your Phoenixes, Rest in Peace is a good real answer to the graveyard, since we don't really use the graveyard ourselves, and we don't really mind getting rid of our own graveyard. And then we just have several sweepers, couple Wraths, couple Kayas. Pretty self-explanatory. If we need a panic button to not die, either of our sweepers allow us to do this. And that is the base game. We'll go ahead now and go into the Spotlight games, followed by a little half-assy wrap-up segment. Anywho, see ya in game number 1. Game number 1 with Abzan tokens. This is not a terribly great hand, isn't that right, baby girl? And this deck likes to catch early on, so I think we're going to mulligan. This is better. We can do something with this. We'll go ahead and probably... Hey! Calm down, child. I forgot I gotta protect cords. Because I have cats. I guess we can get rid of a Fabled Passage? Yeah. We'll go ahead and probably play a Legion's Landing on one. Ooh. I would say Faithless Looting, and is it? Yeah, there we go. Is it sleeves? Basically says Arclight. Pardon. So we're going to bring in some Rest in Peace in game number 2. Or match 2, whatever you want to call it. Let's see. Snarl revealing snow covered, though granted there's no downside to running snow covered, technically. We'll go ahead and play the Temple Garden untapped and just play a Hasda Marshal. Game 1, I'd be surprised if they have sweepers, but I would not be surprised if they bring in your Sweltering Suns game 2. Okay. I mean, that sucks, but it is the right thing to do. Opt to spell number 2. Followed by spell number 3. Yeah, that'll do it. I didn't see the second one in there. Okay. That's something, I suppose. We will wait until their combat phase, so they can't just get the Arclight again, and our boy here is wasted. We could very well just be... Okay, that doesn't work how you think it works. I mean, I guess you could just want to opt for card draw, but... Yep. To be fair, this is basically a standard deck of old that has gotten the ability to be a thing again. We'll go ahead and get rid of the Crackling Drake, because that is real scary. Yep, you and your sissy are playing. We might very well die. We might also bring in some Knights of Autumn for some life gain, because we might need it. So maybe some Rest in Peace in, Knights of Autumn in. Honestly, this is gonna sound weird, but I think we cut down on some tokeny stuff. Because I don't think we're gonna be faster than a Phoenix deck. Yeah, that's the thing. We'll play to our outs, but boy, does it not look good. Yeah, this is pretty goddamn brutal. Look, Mom, I played the card that's supposed to be. Ah, crap. Game number 2. As we will discuss later, boy, do I want this to be good, but I just don't think it's quite there. Let's see, Rest in Peace, Knights of Autumn. We'll get rid of some cheaper ones. And honestly, the Hero of Precinct One is pretty useless here. Get rid of a couple Loxodons, since we're oftentimes not going to have a board to properly convoke stuff out. See what our opponent does. Again, I imagine they're going to bring in your Sweltering Suns and your Wrath of the Gods, I believe, of the Worlds. Or even insert Red Sweeper here, more or less. As our opponent takes forever. There we go. I was about to say, other than bringing in your sweepers, this is not a terribly difficult sideboard decision to make. Okay. Okay, that's like something. This is a good hand, but yes, as we talked about, or we will talk about later, and I tried to talk about a couple seconds ago, I just lacked the mental fortitude. Tokens and Dramatic Finale as a whole, or as like a whole package, they're fun, but I don't think they're quite to the point of being good. And maybe this is just me being a poor builder, which is a very real possibility. I feel like we're just missing something, or maybe there's just like far too much sweeper and removal in the format for tokens to be good. Since the strategy as a whole is very predicated upon you like catching very early. And if you can't like manage to catch early, you sort of just stumble in the end. We'll go ahead and Knight of Autumn and just get some life. Our opponent is either not drawn his Phoenix or gotten them into the bin properly, or they've taken a more control-y route here, which is granted possible. Spell number 1, and they don't have any in their yard. Might as well play the finales, I suppose. Now, if he's going to start playing some Phoenixes on turn 4, we don't mind as bad, since that's when they would normally come down with their mana cost regardless. Hi, Caramel. Hi, baby. Are you and your sissy done playing? Let's see what we draw next turn. As long as there are 4 more instant cards in your graveyard. It's 4/4. There are 3. That might be a good, exile. Target. I don't know, man. Yeah, because that's 4 damage as opposed to 3, and we're just trying not to die. So we'll... fuck me, that's rough. So we will go ahead and pay the cheaper cost to exile the Channeler. Just going to play the Tithe Taker to contest the board. We would love very much to draw like a land so we can Knight of Autumn. Or we would have loved to draw a land there so we could Knight of Autumn and gain some life there, as well as play like a Tithe Taker or the Baleful Mastery. We totally take this trade so we can generate some flying tokens to block down. Okay, so this is good to block down their Phoenix. And this is good. We've at least shown what I want the deck to do. And to be fair, the deck does work, but it's like... Hi, Carmel. Welcome back, honey. You're kind of being a booty. Carmel. I need you to move, cause you're in front of my screen. Little tiny brown sugar, baby. Thank you. I think we'll play the Knight of Autumn and gain some life. We'll go ahead and Conclave Tribunal away the... probably the Arc-like Phoenix, since that on board represents the most damage, since the tokens generated by the Young Pyromancer don't have, say, haste or something. Okay. Hitting for 3 damage. I don't think he has any more in the bin, so we have that going for us. Okay, you're playing some lands, doing some things. Feeling pretty good. I feel like we've, like, sort of, or as stabilized as one could hope to do. We've accomplished this. Do they kill tokens? Because if they're wasting removal spells on tokens, that's good. If they have some exile removal, like a Pillar of Flame, it does sort of circumvent what we're trying to do with the death triggers of Dramatic Finale, which is another weakness of the card. But again, we'll talk about that more in the little wrap-up. We'll go ahead and not attack, since they could very well kill us, and I'd like not to die. Four 1/1s. Our opponent doesn't do anything, which is good. We'll go ahead and just play and crack the Fabled Passage, just to increase the odds of us hitting something particularly good. Again, we're going to not attack, though that might be the wrong play. I'm just a little bit scared about the possibility for this to go horribly awry. If they attack, we gladly block. Again, they don't block, so what are they waiting on, is what I'm a little confused about. We'll play Maja, Bretagard Protector. I could have saved the, well, I could have saved the passage, but we also might have not, Oh. Well, the Abrade kills it, but we do get some, Inklings here. I'll go ahead and attack with the Knight. This way, if they block, we can also generate 2 more Inklings. And we have enough tokens on board to block out their tokens. Hi, Carmel. You want to come lie down with Dad? Hello! Good girl. Now we'll go ahead and keep the lands, I suppose, in our hands, since we have enough mana to cast anything in the deck. And this lets us hold some information. Of course, there's no actual information there, but our opponent doesn't know that. Again, our opponent is not attacking, and we're going to immediately rest in peace, because that's unironically amazing. There is a little bit of non-synergy, I suppose, with the rest in peace here. In that our cards no longer die, they go immediately into exile. But that's honestly fine. I'd rather turn off their Phoenixes, since that they can easily blow us out with just summoning a couple Phoenixes. Hey, alright! Game number 3. I think our sideboard plan was correct, so we'll just run it again in game number 3. Again, I don't know. I think our opponent, as far as I could tell, sideboarded into like a more control-y version of the deck, and a less aggressive version. Which, to be fair, is... I understand the reasoning behind it. Final match of this particular game, and we have a god-awful hand. That's better. We'll go ahead and chuck back 1 Tribunal, yes. This way we can just turn 2, turn 3, and just see where the world takes us. Play a Godless Shrine untapped, and then a Overgrown Tomb... Oh, sorry. Godless Shrine tapped, and the Tomb untapped. Again, this gives us a pretty good turn 2 to turn 3 to turn 4. We'll attempt to get some value out of our dramatic finale before we play the Rest in Peace. Since I don't know if they are going as heavily into the kill you with Arc-like Phoenix plans. Spell number 1. See what they discard. Since they can play, or they can technically play some Phoenixes this turn. Again, they're on Storm Count 1. That sucks. Storm Count 2. But we're alive. I'll go ahead and actually play the Tithe Taker. Might actually be somewhat relevant to text their spells. What is our opponent going to do here? I think we'll just play the Tomb tapped and Tribunal down the Channeler. Unless you have a counter spell, maybe? Or like a dive down of the world or something? Nope, nothing. Alright. Again, we don't mind going a little slower. Okay. Now I see what they were doing. Let's see if I play one land next turn. Go 5, go 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. This might not work how I think it works, but I think I can play the Knight of Autumn and play the Tribunal if I use both creatures to pay for the Convoke. We'll go ahead and just, again, exhaust the passage just to thin the deck. So we Knight of Autumn, gaining 4 life, and then we can, yes, with 2 lands and 2 creatures, we can pay for the Tribunal, and we'll try this again. Next turn, we can just play a Dramatic Finale. We'll keep the land, should we draw a Maja and have some use for the landfall trigger. They're probably... watch them kill my creatures before I have the finale. Okay, that wouldn't have mattered. It got exiled, so I don't really care. Again, if something exiles, it has to... something has to die for finale to trigger. Creature control die. So when instead of... so the Spikefield Hazard, instead of letting our creatures die, they just go immediately to exile. So it actually doesn't trigger it anyway. Wait, did you have one in the bin I didn't see? Okay, again, it wouldn't have mattered if I had the finale out, since they exiled my stuff, so... genuinely nothing lost, and we actually gained life from the Channeler being exiled. I will, however, play 1 land. We really love to draw a creature. Okay, so they didn't get rid of all the Phoenixes in their deck. Which is something. Okay, another finale. Again, we need a creature to, like, trigger it. So we can actually make the tokens necessary to block this Phoenix down. Come on. Please stop giving me lands, game. This is a little annoying to just get, like, flooded out, but sometimes things happen. That's something. I can do something with that. There's a real chance we just die here anyway. But it is the correct thing to do. Yep. We probably need to find some removal very fast. Are we actually... yeah, we need to find some this turn... or he needs to block, right? If he blocks, we can live. But the correct play is to just let it through. Good game. Sometimes you flood out. We'll let him win because he did all the work. Sometimes you flood out. That's all you can hope to do. Anywho, we'll go on quickly to our final little showcase match of the video. Game number 2 with Abzan tokens, and we have a honestly very good opening hand. so we won't look a gift horse in the mouth and try and make some stuff happen. Passage from our opponents. Not the worst thing in the world. Go ahead and try them on turn 1 since we didn't have a play anyway. Crack the passage from our opponent, finding an island. And now we're going to get thought seized away, which kind of sucks, but we have a thing to do turn 2 no matter what happens. Probably takes the finale since that's sort of the payoff card here. Is what I would do, but then again, I'm an idiot, so what do I know? Takes the Tithe Taker, alright. We'll go ahead and play the Emmara. If they happen to just... They might just keep on thought seizing away our hand. Which, while that would suck, it's not like the... Ha! It's not the end of the world. Although sometimes it's a bit of a curse to always be right. Yeah, I was about to say, like, I would take the payoff card now. Before I admired your, like, gusto to get rid of a 2-drop, but yeah, you did the correct thing. But really, they've disrupted my hand, but they haven't disrupted my board, you know? And all they've done is damage themselves 4 points of life. And kind of allowed me to, like, generate a board, which is the dangerous part, viewers at home, about running a little bit too much hand hate if you can't, like, stop a board. Well, maybe our opponent just hasn't played the incoming removal. We'll go ahead and passage and look for a black source in case we draw another finale. This will allow us to play out any finales we happen to draw. I think we'll just play the Loxodon as just a relatively big creature here. Again, force our opponent to either die or make something happen here. 10 on board, they have... Yeah, there we go. We haven't seen much of anything, but I think we'll run some thought seizes so we can get some information that the first game sort of denied us. So we'll probably cut in Emmara and a couple Loxodons. Since we didn't really get any information, thought seize will give us the information, so we don't have to fly blind. As well as, I mean, they're running blue and black and some thought seizes. They are likely some sort of control deck. And this will give us a sort of removal spell in the form of thought seize. And the life loss will likely matter significantly less to us than it will for them. See what our opponent does, though. Well, that's awful. You gotta be kidding me. Okay, we can do something with that. Get rid of swamps. Guess we'll just play a Temple Guardian turn 1. Oh, no. Play the right thing, Max. So, Temple Guardian turn 1, so we can play a Legion's Landing. Honestly, if they, like, thought seize away our hand, don't really have much to lose. We'll go ahead and play a Orzhov Enforcer. Got lucky and sort of not punished. What's the... Oh, okay, that's the cycle duel. Okay. Our opponent appears to have things. Yeah, I'm gonna play it. We'll go ahead and probably just keep the new... Hey, never mind. That worked out pretty good then. Enter the battlefield. We'll keep the new one so we can get the creature, just so nothing goes terribly wrong. That's a very pretty eliminate art, for what it's worth. We'll go ahead and play a dramatic finale. hopefully they don't have a removal spell for the Enforcer before the finale hits. Yay! I suppose they could have some exile malarkey, to be fair. See what our opponent does. Okay, it was card draw. I'm sorry, Glimmer of Genius? Okay. What energy payoff would you be running? Because you don't run Glimmer of Genius unless you have something to pay it off with energy. I suppose that's the big... I don't know what you're running, brother, but I'm in it. Crux of Fate. That sucks a little bit, but we do have a board afterwards. A nice sort of built-in sweeper protection is always a good feeling. Crux of Fate is a good black sweeper. A land from our opponent, followed by God knows what. Go ahead and play an Emmara. And this way we also have enough to still play the Assassin's Trophy, which is good. Alright, they're exiling tokens. That's a good place to be. Alright. I mean, that's removal spells going to tokens and not legit creatures like Emmara. Another Vraska's? Because an exile removal would suck. Turn target non-land, pound exiles card from my hand. Okay. I fucking hate Ashiok. It's the fucking worst. Card can go die in a fucking fire. Fuck that card. Be gone, bitch. I genuinely hate that card. That card fucking sucks. Tribunal, I guess you're getting out of here for now. Go ahead and just play the Emmara again. Can we stop, please? You fucking edgelord of a character. We'll go ahead and just attack. See what our opponent has some sort of priority. Oh, I guess you literally can't cast down Emmara. We will go ahead and save the Triumph cycle for their instep, should they have more general, just kind of discard-y bullshit. Since it's much harder to make me discard at instant speed. It's not that bad. We'll go ahead and play old Maja, the old Bretagard protector. Something might die, to be fair. Yeah, but it isn't dead, right? Hi, baby! But even if it dies, we still do get a creature. Wow, they are... I mean, that's smart. They're trying to make sure I don't catch, really. So we'll go ahead and Thoughtseize away something in their hand. They have nothing. Play a dramatic finale and feel pretty safe. I mean, they could draw some, like, really fucking annoying shit like that. Why would you not... Wait, what the fuck are you doing? That doesn't make any sense to me. Whatever. Don't want to attack or block because it's... Fuck that card. I fucking hate that Ashiok. So fucking just cancerous. What is this stupid fucking ult? You may cast 3 spells from among face-up cards your opponent's own... Wait, you may cast up to 3 spells from among face-up cards your opponent's own from exile without paying their cost, which is... okay, that doesn't feel good. Wow. Alright, that's a thing. You can block, but it just needs to die. Yep. There's some lands, which would suck. I was about to say you could ultimate, but I don't think that's the right play. I think we just, yeah, played as a big honking creature. Because, yeah, they can play a Tribunal, which would suck. Okay, if he plays the Bretagard thing, that would actually suck ass. But again, I'm feeling pretty good here. Fuck, can I turn off Planeswalker voices? That might actually be the voice file, but... Fucking, that's so annoying. $1,000,000 question. Do I cycle the Triome, or do I play it for a land? I think we'll cycle it, actually. That way, if we draw a land, we have a backup plan. I don't even care about him ulting and getting all of my fucking cards. It needs to die. Oh, you have the cool art of Torrential Gearhulk. It's fine. It's really fucking annoying, but it's fine. What a dumb fucking way to lose. Alright. Okay, I can kill it. I just needed that fucking card to be gone. He's so fucking cancerous. Just fucking clogs up the board and all that dumb shit. Yeah, do your thing, man. I don't give a fuck now. I think we're actually going to attack with a Tithe Taker. If they block, we get flying tokens, which is what I really want out of this deal. So I'm either hitting him for 3, or I'm getting 1, 2, 3 flying tokens. So we're in a genuinely good spot. So this is good. This game actually sort of shows what I want the deck to show. Again, is it particularly good? Thoughtseize, see what they have. Thank God! Got there in the end. And I'd like to think our two little games showed what the deck can do and what I want the deck to do. But we'll talk a little bit more about that in the deck tech coming up right now. Hello, and welcome to our first little sort of deck wrap-up, where I'll just sort of give rough thoughts on the deck. And that'll be kind of the end of the video. Now, as for our build-around card, Dramatic Finale. It's a fun card, honestly. The fact that it's multicolored is nice with things like a Hero of Precinct One. And the fact that it is sort of sweeper and removal protection, kind of, is very nice. If your opponent is running a lot of removal that is not exile-based, Dramatic Finale can do a lot of work. But if they are running a lot of exile removal or hate style cards, then Dramatic Finale becomes significantly worse. As well as if we need to bring in a Rest in Peace, these are sort of non-synergies. Though I stand by Rest in Peace, I think the card is important enough in the meta to justify it. But yeah, it's a good card. It's fun. I do challenge you at home, though, if you can find a better build for this, by all means. I do acknowledge that maybe the deck would be stronger, much like Dramatic Finale, if we just took it in a Selesnya route and didn't run the black route. But as we talked about earlier, I haven't made an Abzan deck really in a long time. As well as I think black does bring good things to the table, like removal in the form of Baleful Masteries or your Assassin's Trophy, or even cards like your Orzhov Enforcers or like your Thoughtseizes in the sideboard. I think black brings a lot to the table that should not be discounted, though I do freely admit that maybe it's not the best. Now, tokens on the whole, as a concept, is very nice if you can get settled early and not have to deal with too much removal before you have a Dramatic Finale up. But if your opponent is running a appropriate amount of removal and sweepers, it's very, very hard to like sort of catch early on and make something happen. But it's the deck overall is a fun deck. Do I think it'll climb to like Mythic and you'll, get, #1 Mythic in the world? No, it's not. Do I think it can get you from like a bronze to platinum, which is the middle point of the ladder? Yeah, I think the deck can get you that far. Is the deck a fun deck? Yeah, it's pretty fun. And it's a nice little way to sort of, flex the brewer's brain so I can try and make something work. So yeah, that is the deck good? No. Fun? Yes. Good enough to get you to plat? Yeah. But I also would like to sort of extend a challenge to you at home, viewers. If you can find a good use for Dramatic Finale, by all means. It's one of those, that's what comments are for. I would love to see either comments below or sort of response videos, even though that's not really a thing YouTube does anymore. If you can manage to make Dramatic Finale work in Historic. Anywho, thank you all for watching. Remember to like the video if you like it, sub if you like me, and if you have comments, say, talking about how you would build it differently, or anything, that's what comments are for. Just keep it simple. And remember, I'm pulling for you. We're all in this together.